Hi everyone, this is reporter Yoyo from the Boston Film Academy. With so much content to be covered, we have 3 reporters live streaming at different events. Today we'll be celebrating the 248th anniversary of the Battle of Lexington. We will also be watching a historical reenactment of this event like it happened 200 years ago.
The Battle of Lexington actually takes place on Monday the 19th, very early in the morning. You have to get up like at 5 o'clock in the morning to get into that crowd around the green. And we had heard that the regulars were marching on Lexington. Paul Revere had told us the night before. And so our militia were getting all ready, and they were concerned. And they stood out there, and the British comes marching down Mass Avenue. And first you hear the tromp of their feet. And then you see the sun glittering off their swords and their sabers and the red of their uniforms. And it's like, oh, and there's so many of them, and there's so few Americans trying to defend their little bit of freedom in this country. And the British shout at us, and they tell us to go home. And we say, no, if something must be fought, we will stand here. And then somebody, nobody knows whether it was American or British, somebody shoots. And then they exchange gunfire. And that was the first shot that was fired for freedom here.
Patriots Day is a special day that remembers the start of the American Revolution War on April 19, 1775. It happens every year on the third Monday of April in Massachusetts and Maine in the United States. Patriots Day is very important in Massachusetts because it celebrates the start of the American Revolution War. The Battle of Lexington and Concord were the first fights of the war. They were happened on this day. Many people were hurt or killed, and it was the start of a big fight for freedom for the American colonies against Britain. The Battle of Lexington is very important for us to know and learn about. I hope this event will continue every year. And now we'll be handing it off to Lucas.
Hi guys, I'm reporter Lucas from Top News. On this day in 1775, American Revolution begins at Battle of Lexington. Today, we're at the Tower Park near Pelham Road to watch the William Diamonds Jr. 5 and drum corps performance. Let's go and take a look.
As you can see, that the costumes they wore were the military uniform of the American militia in 1775, and the tunes they played were also the classic song of the year. The uniformed corps understand the pomp and circumstance, the formality of flags, veterans, corporate image, and professional recognition into the industry, with over 20 years of the experience. The William and Diamond Jr. 5 and Drum Course is designed to promote the study of both music and history among young people in eastern Massachusetts, to perpetuate the tradition of fife and drum music, and to foster the spirit of fellowship among Americans through music.
Can you introduce yourself and your instrument?
So I'm Drew. I am a fifer. I've been playing the fife for about 6 years. This is Gregory.
I've been playing the fife for around 9 years.
Oh. How old were you? You were.
I think it was probably 9 when I joined.
Ugh.
And I'm Andrew. I'm a fifer. I've been playing since I was 8.
Can you introduce what are you playing?
These are drums. They're not like normal marching band drums. They're colonial drums from the 1800s. 1800s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we play the rudimental rope tension drums, and the style of drumming that we do is rudimental drumming with an emphasis on stuff that they played in the 1800s and 1900s, especially.
We have snare drums and bass drums. They're snare drums are for a lighter, more kind of sharp sounding, while bass drums are for loud cannon type.
Through historical restoration at the scene, they were costumed of the year. We seem to have traveled back to the past, allowing history emerging in front of our eyes. This is also the unique history education in the United States. This is reporter Lucas, Caillou, and Yoyo from the Top News.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm reporter Caillou from the Top News, coming from Lexington on Patriots Day. Today, we are honoring the brave patriots that fought for our freedom during the American Revolution. One of the key battles that we'll be focusing on is the Battle of Tower Park. that took place on April 22nd, 1775. This battle was a significant victory for our American forces, boosting their morale as they fought for our independence. Join us as we dive in deeper into this historic event and learn how significant this was for our nation's history. The Battle of Tower Park was a battle between the Americans and the British. As the name suggests, the British were trying to take Tower Park. The Americans fought back and ended in victory with less casualties than the British wanted. In the end, the Patriots only lost 50 men, while the British lost 73, not to mention the wounded and the missing. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Paul. I was hired by the governor to go with the British regulars to Concord as a guide. They're an occupying force. They don't know the roads in this area. I'm a guide who knows those roads. I'm often thinking you got 700 soldiers out here in this first column. Where do you stop to fill up 700 canteens? There's got to be a place with a good well. I'm the guide who can show them where that is. Some of us also scouted ahead to stop riders from alerting the countryside.
Can you all introduce yourselves?
Our hat was designed by George III. It's bearskin. To this day, the grenadiers still wear bearskin. This is a lock that has a fuse inside it. It's an airlock. And in the old days, grenadiers were grenade carriers. And we'd take a grenade out, we'd light it with the fuse, and we would throw it into a house or a trench, never on the ground because it get kicked right back to us. And so that's where that comes from. The hat comes from George III.
Yeah.
The bayonet.
Yeah.
We have the bayonet that goes on here.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is our brand new swords.
Yeah.
They're called hangers.
The historic reenactors put up an amazing show today. The audience and us really appreciate their hard work. In conclusion, we hope that the Lexington Celebrations Committee hosts more and more events like these, bringing us the full feel of what history was and how our nation became what it is today. 3. As we wrap up our coverage for the Battle of Tower Park, we are reminded of the sacrifice and bravery of the Patriots who were fighting for our freedom. Their determination and courage paved the road for the country we live in. Let us honor their memory and their sacrifice they made for our liberty. This is reporter Caillou, Lucas, and Yoyo reporting from the event side.